Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been? Not everyone has the Ranger Captain breathing down their neck. I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate. I'd like to be. They're out searching. Someone had to hold down the fort. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here. Belena and Adelaro are their names. Haven't seen more than 20 winters and... gods, they act their age. They were good rangers once. But since they've caught each other's eye, all they do is sneak off to... I wouldn't have put it that way, but all right.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back.
Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
Two young Nimdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon. Give them a while. Know what I mean?
I hope no one minds. I made myself at home.
Don't mind at all. It's good to have you. Tell us a bit about yourself, Giada.
Let's see. A few things about me. I enjoy long conversations, and my favorite season is autumn. Apparently, I also snore, which annoys some people.
So do I. Glad it won't just be me now. We should pitch our tents on either side of Marius. The drone really helps him sleep.
Right, that's me. And the first rule of camp is never listen to Kai. He's a blessed Nimdude of the highest order.
If anyone needs their soul tinkered on, don't hesitate to ask. I'm rather good with souls.
I'll take your word for it.
Thank you again for letting me join you. An animancer never misses an opportunity to embrace the unknown. Still, being an animancer feels different without Fior mes Ivèrno. For the first time, I don't have to prove myself to anyone. You're forgetting all the bridges I burned on my way out. No, that part of my life is over. At least now I have a place I can call my own. Good, because I have a lot of research to do, and this could take a while. Not to change the topic, but this little adventure of ours, will it be dangerous? Just making sure I know what I signed up for. My mother and father taught me how to defend myself, among other things. When you need me, I'll be ready. I hope so, anyway. What's on your mind? Ah, you want a story? Very well. Settle in. It all started about 50 years ago, in the great city of Spirento. A young nobleman by the name of Maxim Vidaro sought to inherit a distinguished government position. A distant cousin cheated Maxim out of the title. He was devastated, his political future uncertain. No one lifted a finger to help. Not the banks, not the merchants, or the politicians. So, Maxim did what Valians do best. Something like that. Maxim plotted his revenge. They say he prayed to Scan, the effigy, god of rebellion and defiance, to ask for a blessing. And Scan answered. Take their best and brightest, their heirs, their scholars, their futures, to the far side of the world, never to return. And Maxim did just that. He gathered a following and left the Valian republics, giving thanks to his dark god. Spirento was full of animancers, many of them in debt, and Maxim was a wealthy patron. They needed each other. So the animancers followed Maxim all the way out here, including my parents, Quilici, and others around town. At the time, this place was an animancer's dream. No oversight, limited government, and soil rich with essence. 40 years later, Maxim vanished. They say the effigy came to collect his soul. Nonsense, of course. His son has been in charge ever since. For better or worse. Thanks for listening. We should do this again.
I love a good ghost story. Just not the dreams I have afterwards.
Hadn't heard all that before. Probably a lesson or two in there.
One of these days you'll have to tell me an Aedyr ghost story. You learn a lot about people by what scares them. What are you so curious about? I suppose you deserve to know, after what I put you through. My mother wanted to expand Fior's agriculture. Feeding Emerald Stair wasn't ambitious enough. She wanted to feed the world. She thought she could break the wilderness, using animancy as the whip. Turn the living lands into a garden. That's putting it lightly. After my father put the finishing touches on the phantasmal focus, she was impatient to get started. After all, whoever controls the spirit of the living lands has nature in the palm of their hand. My father thought so too. Emerald Stair was just the beginning to her. My father thought she was brilliant. Others thought she was mad. I think she was a victim of her own ambition. She wanted so much, and there was so little time to achieve it. Theoretically, her plan should have worked. But the living lands had other ideas. When she used the phantasmal focus, theory collided with reality. Everything went wrong. I can't rule anything out, but I suspect the Dream Scourge had something to do with it. It lives in the essence of the living lands, corrupting whatever it touches. And if I'm right, that means it's been here a long time, or the forces behind it. I was 17. That makes it... Gods, has it been 13 years already? After they died, I wouldn't go near a lab. It was ages before Quilici got me to crack open a book. I have a lot of catching up to do in my studies. Need to make up for lost time. My mother and father didn't know the risks, and I can't stop thinking about them. Caution and experience will stop us from repeating their mistakes. Don't worry. I've lived with it for a while now. I thought my family's research could help Emerald Stare. That it could banish the Dream Scourge from our lands. Of course, Vidaro wouldn't even give me a chance. He was afraid of history repeating itself. Still, I'm hopeful. This legacy of mine could change Animancy as we know it. And something tells me I'm close to a breakthrough. Closer than my mother ever got. Good question. The idea of finishing my parents' work gives me a warm feeling. But do I want it? I know I've got one lifetime, and I want to do something with it. Aren't you full of questions all of a sudden? This is the one life where I am Giada Castel, Animancer extraordinaire. In the next life, I could be an idiotic tree. I have an obligation to use the time I have. No Animancer has engineered an ecosystem before. Maybe, with a little luck, I could be the first. That little island off of Donshore? None that I know of. Ignato Castel led the Valian trading company in the Deadfire archipelago. Among other things, he invested in the future of Animancy, and apparently he had interests here. He had some ideas about moving great distances in the blink of an eye. As far as I know, he was unsuccessful. Animancy and ambition are a dangerous mixture. Intoxicating, but dangerous. Afraid not. I've heard a lot of contradictory stories coming out of the Deadfire in recent years. Some say Castel is still in power, while others think his second-in-command took over the Valian trading company. You know how it is. Wherever there's conflict, there's bound to be misinformation. Any time. Whether or not Castel succeeded, I don't think it's folly to dream. Now that you mention it, I did try and awaken my soul to become fully aware of my past lives. Every Animancer tries and fails. It's practically a rite of passage. So, one evening, I crept into the workshop and cobbled an invention together from spare parts. Amateur work. Then I turned it on. Big mistake. The next thing I knew, it was morning. I was floating in the fountain, and my head was pounding like a drum.
You don't need Animancy for that. Just rum and a crew on shore leave.
That answers a lot of questions, honestly.
Sometimes I wonder, what if it actually worked? What if all of this happened before, and I'm just reliving the events of a past life? I try not to think about it too much. A simple question with a very complicated answer. The device is attuned to the spiritual energy of the living lands, much like a compass to magnetic north. But essence is chaotic by nature. As you saw with your own eyes, imposing order on chaos is not without risk. Not for long. Don't get me wrong, this invention is a small miracle, but it isn't enough. The phantasmal focus was supposed to be the start of something grand. One lever of a device that exists only in theory. Perhaps it should remain that way. Not before I've done some reading. I wish you could have seen Emerald Stare in better times.
What was it like? I've only passed through a few times over the years.
The evenings were cool. Fish leaped into our nets. Emerald Stare was everything.
Pleasant and abundant. Sounds like the fables old trenchers used to tell about Deadfire. Paradise.
Envoy? Hard to imagine what Giada's going through right now, with her parents and all that. I mean, I have no idea what actually happened there, but she lost her people. She'll need time to get past that. And she deserves it. Right, changing the subject. Ask away. Right, changing the subject. Not before I've done some reading.
Did they not glow in the light? Her parents, her sentinels. To grow and flourish still, life without rot, form without death. The lake dries. Prune the bellflowers. Why should anything wilt? Endless spring. They breathe. They flower. They will never fade. Apple into seed. We think not. They have blossomed now. They sing in peace. Was it not worth the change? Do we not? The bear would have spent its days in the wood. They are strong now, vibrant, better than their frail shells. Even the darkest evening clouds part with the morning mist. Sleep now. Dream of beauty and new life. We will speak soon.
Adelaro's gone. It's a dream. We're all dreams now. Sweet peonies, violets, and sardines. Hello. Are you a fish too? Oh, the sardines shimmer. They swim in silver circles.
Something's not right with her. The dream scourge. Is this how it starts? She's probably the ranger Fidelio told us to look out for. Poor kid.
We're Belena? Maybe you're Belena. Where's Adelaro? We need him. Adelaro knows where Adelaro is. Adelaro's face burst into violets when the dreams came. Red violets. He joined the others.
Her friend has it worse by the sound of it. The dream scourge knows no pity.
She watched that happen to him. God.
A lamb taken from the flock. How do we soothe her?
Your friends speak true. They know us. Help us! When you find them, they will scream. They will sing with you. Soon the rest of Fior will be swallowed by dreams too. But tell us of Adelaro first. Where is he?
There's no way to be gentle about this, is there?
Sink into the earth and grow. Will we see him again? Will he remember how we danced under the moon? Find him. Give the lieutenant our badges. He swims in the bone and boar. He calls himself Fidelio. He will understand our song. But Aedyr stumbles at the mouth of the river above us. Please, help us sleep soundly.
Stuff is growing everywhere. An invasive species like none I've ever seen.
Kai, weapons ready.
Oh, no, you don't! In the eyes!
Coming from the left. Nicely done.
Nothing like a win with a good team.
Please tell me you found them.
It was the Dream Scourge. There was nothing we could do about it.
The Dream Scourge. Here. Tell me you're joking.
Quilici told you this would happen, but no one listened. Instead of a plan, we have a body count.
I know. I should have acted sooner. A body count. Then I assume neither of them is still alive. Merla, when she turns, Fior will panic. Where is she now? Then I can't leave her. I can't kill her either, but I'll have to find the strength. Here, you went to a lot of trouble. You ought to be paid for it. It's time for me to get out of here and actually do my job.
Whatever happens to the Rangers, well, it's just a matter of time before it happens to us.
I really do hope you can end this, Envoy.
What else to get? What else to get?
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Aedyr envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead.
As I've told you before,
Oh, sure. I can't take the blame for all of Fior's problems, but my negligence has only made things worse. The dead of Fior expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry. Exactly the case. With everything happening and my own advanced age, I have had trouble keeping up. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone, they bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
I had to take the food. The fate of Fior depends on it.
I say this with love, but stealing from the living to help the dead is beyond nonsensical.
I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead. I believe it will change everything for the better. I believe it with all my heart. The crops will grow again. The dream scourge will end. All will be well once more. You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast. Loggers from the old days, they sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fior, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds. That is the least of my worries. But yes, bringing closure to the recent dead will finally allow me a good night's sleep. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
Farms used to be so full of life.
Just like the good old days. When in Fior, yes.
It may not be easy on the eyes, but a swamp is a healthy, thriving ecosystem. Just try not to breathe.
To the left!
good fighting. The squirrels will get plenty to eat tonight.
You there! You look like you know where you're going.
Yeah.
Take your best shot. To your left. Another glorious battle. Seems like a waste to me, but it means something to them.
Prices seem a bit steep.
You return. Have you visited all 3 grave sites? You fought them? The spirit's anguish must be driving them mad, the poor dears. I believe the influence of the recently dead could drive these poor souls to rage and violence. Be gentle with them, please. I don't believe they mean you true malice. They are minnows caught in the spiritual tide. Thank you for helping the dead to rest, my friend. You have done Fior a great service. Now, Will you stand and pray with me? May you walk the path safely, always a step ahead of the pallid night and her toll. May the usher guide you through the safest doors to the next life, and may his skeletal hand bring you only warmth. May the twin gods see faith in you in all their aspects, and may death come quickly and easily and without fear. And may we all take comfort in the knowledge that the next life awaits. You know the prayer. It gives me such joy. Please, take this token of Barrett's favor. May it keep you from her path for just a moment longer. May the usher find you quickly, Aimiko, and ferry you gently to the next life.